Waking up to news that could redefine what it means to be an American. News that could determine who belongs, who doesn't, and how the very foundation of citizenship is interpreted for generations to come. That's exactly the kind of moment the United States now finds itself in, as the Supreme Court steps into one of the most explosive legal battles in modern history. Today, we're diving deep into the court's decision to take up cases challenging President Donald Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship, and why this could reshape immigration, politics, and the rule of law in ways few people fully understand. On December 5, 2025, the Supreme Court agreed to hear two blockbuster cases, Barbara versus Trump and Trump versus Washington. These cases directly challenged Trump's executive order issued on January 20, 2025, which attempts to limit birthright citizenship for children born in the United States to non-citizen parents, especially those without legal immigration status. Even though no oral arguments were scheduled that Friday, because the court only hears arguments Monday through Wednesday, the decision to grant certiorari sent powerful shockwaves across the legal and political landscape. The issue at the heart of this moment is nothing less than the boundaries of the 14th Amendment, written after the Civil War, to guarantee that anyone born on U.S. soil is automatically a citizen. So, what exactly is at stake? At its core, Trump's executive order attempts to reinterpret the 14th Amendment's citizenship clause. For more than 150 years, that clause has been widely understood as providing citizenship to anyone born in the United States, regardless of their parents' immigration status. But with support from 24 Republican-led states, this new challenge argues that the clause was never meant to apply to children of undocumented immigrants. Lower courts in both the Fourth and Ninth Circuits quickly struck down the order, saying it was unconstitutional and exceeded presidential authority. But now, with the Supreme Court taking the case, the legal conversation has shifted from a quick rejection to a full national debate. If the court ultimately upholds the order, the implications for immigration could be massive. Millions of families could be affected. And that's just one piece of what's happening. While the court prepares to hear these citizenship cases in spring 2026, with a final decision likely by early summer, another part of the court's work is raising eyebrows: the shadow docket. No emergency rulings were issued on December 5th, but this term alone, the shadow docket has handled 36 cases related to the Trump administration, and 29 of those favored the government. This trend has become a major concern for legal scholars and even some justices. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, in a dissent back in October, called the shadow docket a grave misuse. Why? Because these decisions often come without full briefings, without oral arguments, and without much explanation. They're fast, they're powerful, and they're increasingly shaping national policy on immigration, voting rights, environmental regulations, and more. Critics argue that this erodes transparency and risks turning the court into a political instrument rather than a neutral guardian of the Constitution. But the birthright citizenship fight and the shadow docket aren't the only signs of a dramatic term ahead. At the December 5th conference, the court reviewed a staggering 67 petitions related to the Second Amendment. These include challenges to age restrictions on handgun purchases, like Fraser versus ATF, and complex cases involving pharmaceutical patents, like Hikma Pharmaceuticals versus Amarin Pharma. Although no decisions were announced that day, the court's upcoming orders list is expected to reveal which cases will move forward. Another major petition the court is considering is CANA Provisions versus Bondi, a case that could overturn Gonzalez versus Reich from 2005. That earlier decision essentially allowed the federal government to override state marijuana laws. If the court revisits it now, it could tip the balance toward states' rights and, honestly, dramatically expand the legal cannabis industry across the country. Taken together, these cases on guns, drugs, citizenship, executive power, and federal authority show a Supreme Court navigating the most heated cultural and political flashpoints of our time. The results could influence not just legal doctrine, but also public safety, state economies, immigration patterns, and even the upcoming midterm elections. And looming over all of this is another major showdown: Trump v. Slaughter, a case on presidential removal powers, with oral arguments beginning December 8th. This adds yet another layer of complexity to a term already bursting with high-stakes constitutional questions. So what does all of this mean for everyday Americans? It means the court is wrestling with questions that reach far beyond textbooks or courtrooms. These decisions will determine who has the right to belong in the United States, how much power the president truly has, and whether the judiciary can remain independent in a deeply polarized country. They will shape the country's identity, its policies, and its future. As we watch these cases unfold, one thing is clear: this Supreme Court term is not just about legal opinions. It's about the direction of America itself. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on major political and legal developments. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps content like this coming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.